that today. That is one part of it. So we are doing a DYS graduation ceremony. That means today we will have the completion of the ceremony. We will also give small gifts to the successful graduates with their certificates, with their name on them. Also, we will hear back from them what they captured in the last few sessions. I live in some memories, so I traveled on the way just to make sure that this class uh, is completed. And I want to hear back. That is my say fellowship. If you guys speak, I get that happiness, right? So in the last session that we have not covered that we are capturing now, there are a couple of things which are really important. So we will walk through that, and then we will start the graduation ceremony. Followed by that, we will uh, have a little Ram Katha based on the mood of the attendees, because we just completed the Ram Navami, and that's it. Then we will have fantastic result. Is that it? Is that it? All right. So what is on the screen? Yeah. Uh, Fear, desire, beauty, and love. What does that mean? Uh, Raise your hand if uh, ever if your childhood parents say, hey, if you do this, this will happen, or some ghost or something will come, or cop will come and catch you, right? Or if you touch the fire, your hand will hurt, right? Electricity, don't do it. So what was that? Fear. But fear is the beginning of the wisdom. Because we start by fearing, that fear keeps us more alert of do's and don'ts in life. Yes. So few religions are based on fear. So fear is the basis, fear is the summary, fear is the samagodam, and fear is the start, and fear is the end in few religions. Now, the next level in a religion, there are so many religions in this world, right? The next level in the religion is desire. Desire is what? I want this, I want that. So you typically see the religions have this next level, which is I want something. That is why I go to X personality or Y temple or see that prayer place, and I say, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. It's one of it. So that is the next level. So that is better than fear. Fear is like, I'm so scared that I want to be in a subsystem. Now, fear system that was explained by Radha Gopinath from Mumbai, that during some turmoil and riots, his friends came together and they said, we will not follow any religion, we want to be agnostic. But when they passed out from the graduation medical college, one of their friends started a hospital and invited them, and they saw a home house going on. So they pulled their friends in that, why you are doing this? We agreed that we be agnostic, no business, right? They said, please, I put 10 crore rupees to build this hospital. If there is somebody, let him be happier. Like fear basis. That when we see some temple, we'll ring the bell or something, say, be happy. The next one is desire. What is desire? So, for example, if a new couple gets married and after a lot of years, if there is no child, then there is a social anxiety. So it's like, okay, what do I do? So I went to my Kuta Devata and that didn't work out. Okay, then why didn't you go to X temple? Then why didn't you go to Y temple? Why didn't you go to Sai Baba temple? Then in Mumbai, people say there is a Mother America church. Go over there. If that is not enough, then there is some Mother, go offer a chadar, right? So when people are in the desire business, I want something from the ecosystem. They will go to any window where they can give something and take back something. Now, if you look at in the desire business, recently Narsimha movie came out. Raise your hand if you saw the Narsimha movie. Then, so Narsimha Dev, when he was pleased and he appeared, and when he was pleased, he asked Prahlad, what you want? And what did Prahlad Maharaj say? बढ़िया समझ के रखे हो. You think I'm a vyapari? Where I will give something and take something. I'm taking your name. I'm doing your bhakti to get something out of you. No, I do not want anything. So Narasimha Dev still is saying, but Prahlad, please ask something. Said, okay, oh Lord, if you want something, what do I want? Life after life, I want to hear your glorification from the mouth of the devotees, pure devotees that you have. That is all I want. And if you really care, this father of mine, because few moments back, his dad's surgery was complete. It's the first time when the operation is successful and the patient is dead. He was dead. Said, please give him liberation. If you look at that movie and if you see all the turmoil the father put the son into, it is amazing that Prahlad is coming back and asking for the liberation. He could have easily said, hell, please. And he's saying, please give him liberation. So, no desire. That is also standard. Now, the next level of the religion is when we do it out of duty. That means we say that, God has given me so many things. Out of duty, as a duty or reciprocation, I need to do some basics in life. So that is at a duty level. So out of gratitude. So that is also amazing. And that is the next level where you are not asking for anything, you're just saying that is the right thing to do. So I going to go over this. Right? But the highest and the final level of a religion is what? When we perform our religious duties or spiritual duties out of love. Now, why the love is the highest? Because if you look at it, in this world, what we call it as love is basically lust. What does lust mean? Means if things don't go my way, I will separate. Now raise your hand if you know anybody around you who's going through a separation, divorce and separation. Right? So many of our friends, families, we hear this that okay, this person is getting separated, why person getting separated. What happens? I wanted the party to go, life party to go in a certain way. If that does not go away, then I want to be out of here. Right? But what is real love? In the material world, the love that comes closest to you is a mother's love for the child. Because if you look at when the baby is born, in the first place, carrying the baby in the tummy itself is a hard process. And, the baby is kicking and lots of trauma. At the point of birth, again, there is a life risk. The mother may lose her life. So it's a life risky process. Right? And if that is not enough, right after the baby is born, if you look at it, the uh, first few months, the baby can barely stop crying, right? And the parents cannot even complete the sleep, 8 hours sleep, which is so necessary for his neurological benefit. We cannot sleep for 8 hours. What happens? Every 20 minutes or half an hour, the baby is hungry. Right after the baby is fed, the baby does potty. Right after, then the baby starts crying again because now it is a potty time. It's clean. And if that is not happening, the baby might be too hot, too cold, or just in a bad mood, cranky, missing mama. So crying. And the baby does not give $1 to the mom. Does, she, does the baby give a Bitcoin? Nothing. Simply cry. And after growing up, what the baby should say? Hey, you parents, you don't understand anything. You don't know where the world is going. You do not understand the norms of how to be in front of my friends. My friends, when they're here, you're not supposed to say this. You're supposed to say only this. I want to be a cool kid. I want my parents to be the cool kids also. So now the same baby, which was crying only half an hour, without use of this, how to be a good parent. So still, the mother's love for the baby does not reduce. That is why the mother's love for the baby is what is closest to the real love in this world. But that is still material love. The love beyond that is spiritual. The love that we can, because in this world, what we see is in every relationship, there is imperfection, some imperfection. It's very difficult to find like perfect relationships in this world. It is very difficult to have a relationship with this world, but we are trying. Just know that whatever desires we have, whatever desires we have, there's a fulfill. Did I do something wrong? That is our protocol. If I say something off, so the desire, so the desire we have is to perfect relationship. Now in this world, as you can see that we have desire for food. Does food exist in the ecosystem? We feel thirsty. Is there some liquid to take care of our thirst? We have propensities for romantic life. Is there a facility available in this world? Yes. So we have desire to surrender also. So some people like people who believe in nature as God, they will surrender to a hill or a tree or a geography or river. So there are levels of our desires. The ultimate desire we have is the desire to love and to be loved. And that our desire to love and to be loved is not fulfilled completely or perfectly in this world. So that means there is a person out there who can be the perfect relationship for us, and that is God. Now, if every other desire gets fulfilled properly, that means this desire also there must be an arrangement in the mother nature to complete it, and that is love. And that is a finding that love, falling in love with God, doing things out of love with God is the real highest level of a religion or a spirituality. Now, is it possible to fall in love without knowing someone? It's like, one fine day, the girl comes in a gungat or cloth, and the next moment you are supposed to fall in love. I don't know, may happen in movies, but there's a hit and miss chance, right? So here, we need to know about the person that we want to fall in love with. And that is where the scriptures are helping. Scripture is like a mother who is showing us who the father is and explaining about the father. If you go in Srimad Bhagavatam, Rukmini Devi, she was a princess in Vidarbha in Maharashtra. She fell in love with Krishna. And the Brahmana was doing the messaging, the Twitter and email and WhatsApp. The Brahmana was exchanging the letters. So she heard the glories of Krishna and she fell in love. What Srimad Bhagavatam is doing, what Bhagavad Gita is doing, they're giving us the glories of the Lord so that we know who we are falling in love with, what to expect out of it. That is the beauty of the scriptures we have. Now, in our parampara, uh, the Mahatma Gaudiya Sampradaya, which is just the rebranded name as ISKCON, but basically it's a Gaudiya Sampradaya from Bengal. Starts with Lord Brahma and comes down. This relationship, this treasure house of our love with God is given open arms. How we chant the name of the God and God invests all the potency, all the power, all the love, everything, Leela, Madhuri, everything is stored in the name. And that name is available to us without any reservation, no need for appointment. Anytime we are ready, the name is there with us. That is the reason of love that we are talking about. So we watch Srila Prabhupada's video. Bharat worship, India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's greatest mystics. Thus, 50 years ago, In 1965, this rarefied essence was carried by a compassionate 70-year-old saint, Srila Prabhupada, to the shores of the Western world. Embarking on this difficult transatlantic voyage, experiencing 2 heart attacks on his 38 days aboard. This embodiment of India's sacred teachings set out alone with an impossible wish to spark a revolution of the individual heart, to fill it with purpose in a world of uncertainty, with joy in times of difficulty on an international scale. This gift was the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it has been practiced for millennia, as it is, along with its original Vedic Krishna conscious culture. By his character and his compassion, Srila Prabhupada's systematic and scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness penetrated the very hearts of all those who heard him. And within a mere 3 years of his arrival, a genuinely international society is gone manifested globally inspiring teachings of Indian aim arts, such as painting, music, instruments, and exhibitions, the books, particularly his magnum opus, the literary and intellectual jewel, Srimad Bhagavatam. C. Cuisine, the entire suite of exotic Indian vegetarian preparations, mastered by generations of cooks and enthusiastically embraced by boys and girls over the standard cow flesh, alcohol, drugs, coffee, tea, and even the onion and garlic. D. Dressing, men with dhoti kurta, women in saris, all with tilak. E. Etiquettes, respect to elders, the saintly, and to God. F. Following the cultural pathway, Sanskriti, for example, introducing the sanctity of Vedic marriage with all its duty and its commitment. G. The philosophy of the woman, establishing a close relationship with the land, form of exclusive dedication, forms only by distribution of the sun and worship. H. A healthy lifestyle with regulation, such as rising early in the morning, and pure habits, such as bathing upon rising. I. Indian ethics, establishing the value from scriptures, such as Ramayana and Mahabharata, of a life filled with perseverance, tolerance, and humility over personal appearance, education, and wealth. J. Jolly dancing in kirtans to worship the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's teachings were centered on the essence of India's wisdom, that the constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or as he called it, the great chant for deliverance, was capable of revolutionizing the world. His gifts to India included 3 major centers of culture and education in 1. Bombay, the economic capital of India. 2. Vrindavan, India's foremost place of worship. And 3. Sridham Mayapur, ISKCON's international headquarters. Srila Prabhupada's unprecedented achievements have created an imperishable legacy. Their magnitude is understood only in terms of how the world has changed since his arrival on Western shores. Indians are now valued not only for their technical competence, but also for their character, their holistic culture, and their loving devotion to the Lord. Today, his students form a body of world-class spiritual leaders to carry on Srila Prabhup's conception of compassion. Truly, India has regained its position as a genuine beacon of light for the entire world for generations to come, especially with the construction of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium. How did you like it? So what we just saw is how the history of this India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's growth. That was the last part. That is the last part I wanted to share in the DYS series, which is Srila Prabhupada's message, and it is better if it is seen with everyone. So with that, now we will start our little graduation ceremony. Uh, so all the DYS graduates, if you want, can be where you are, or you can come here and sit together. How you like. But we will invite you one person at a time, and we will give you the certificate. Hopefully, somebody is taking a photo. We are part of the graduation team. I will take the photo. Okay. We'll take the photos. Okay. And you get to speak for 2-3 minutes of what did you learn or what did you like from the whole series in such a way that it is inspiring for others to try it out. Yes. Like what is this DYS, Discover Yourself course? It is about we went to kindergarten, we went to uh, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, post graduation. Some of us are PhDs, some of us are double PhDs. But some fundamental questions of life are not asked. What were those? Who am I? Really? Where do I come from? Where do I go? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why there is so much of fight in the name of religion? Why there are so many religions? So basic things. And that's how do I know the Bhagavad Gita that we talk about is original? How do I, what is in it for me? Why should I study Bhagavad Gita? Why should I even come to temple? Why should I believe in God? Right? How do I know it is not all fraud? So all these fundamental questions we carry in our pocket every day. We may come to temple because we need to take children somewhere. Like temple is one place where if you ask, interview everybody person coming in, they will have different answers. Like if you ask in office, we know why we do. Right? Cash is the king. Uh, we have skills to offer. There will be some job satisfaction. But if you minus the salary, no job satisfaction and can actually keep us in the office. We'll say next office. Temple is one place where people are having very different answers for why they come to temple. Right? You ask somebody, why are you coming to temple? Oh, because I want to get married. To ask the next person, why are you coming to temple? Oh, because I got married. It's like everybody can be having different reasons. Okay. So with that, I think we will start the names. Banita Singhal. Okay. So if you have this, absolutely one. Jaydeep Patel sir. Okay, sure. Please. आगे से जाओ, आगे से
uh, respected teachers, mentors, and dear devotees. My respectful greetings to all of you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Today, as I reflect on my journey through the DYS program, I feel deep gratitude and a real sense of transformation. When I began, I came with curiosity and questions, but what I received was much more than knowledge. I received clarity, direction, and a deeper connection to Krishna. One meaningful change I have experienced is how I handle daily challenges. Earlier, I would feel overwhelmed and react quickly, but now I try to pause, remember Krishna, and respond more calmly. Even simple practices like chanting and recalling the teaching have helped me shift my mindset. For me, this has been a powerful change. Through the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, I have begun to understand that I am not this body, but an eternal servant of Krishna. This realization has changed how I see my life, my relationships, and my purpose. DYS has been more than a course. It has been a journey of inner growth. I have learned that spiritual life is not about perfection, but about sincere effort and steady progress. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to His Grace Gauranga for his guidance and teachings. I am also very thankful to the Lynnwood team, Nand Maharaj Prabhu and Yasoda Mai Mataji, and all the volunteers for their dedication and service. I would also like to offer my gratitude to His Holiness Haridas Maharaj for his guidance and support in helping the community grow. Today is not the end, but the beginning of a deeper journey. I pray that I can continue on this path with sincerity and consistency. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Mm. So our opening batsman is hitting a sixer.
Very nice.
Ravi Kumar, Sharaf. So we have Sandeep, Putul. Is the divine. Thank you so much. Haribol. Um, Haribol. Before I say anything about discover yourself, uh, this class is a classic example for me, and I'm a classic example for this class as well. I'll tell you a quick brief about me. I come from the born and brought up in foothills of Tirupati, Lal Tirupati Balaji. So, and my ancestry is more towards like serving the not only Lord Balaji, we are also the servants of Guru Raghavendra Swami, who is the Guru Parampara of Madhvacharya. So we are very close connected to God, whether it is Krishna or whether it is Raghavendra Swami, who generally does puja for Mola Rama, uh, Prabhu Maharaj, Prabhu Ramchandra Prabhu. So in this whole process, we are very closely connected to spiritually to the God. But during my childhood, I was very closely connected. Over a period of time, when you grow up, you become teenager, you become adolescent, and all of that. you tend to lose your spiritual path and then you are away from it. And then when you are at a position like when you have kids and when you start seeing the samsara saga there, how we are traveling in this samsara saga, is it? That is when you get to know the challenges again and you try to find what is your solution. And that is how I am too. I've been looking for a solution. And funny part is you are being spiritual in your in your childhood age, and you forget that path, and then you are searching for solutions somewhere else. And I have been going to Isakwa uh, ISKCON temple and Bellevue ISKCON temple, and I was never getting involved into any of these classes or anywhere. And then I started coming to Lynnwood. Luckily, Lynnwood is very close to my home. I started coming to Lynnwood. And then I realized there is a class, Discover Yourself. And imagine the person who is searching for spiritual path and then getting into Discover Yourself, which is actually making you discover yourself in the spiritual process. And this is really, Krishna is making me find that path by giving this opportunity. So that is how I felt when I started joining this particular class. And then it's really phenomenal. Guruji gave very good examples, even though he makes it funny. There are deep meaning in each and every lesson that we learned from this 7 or 8 series of days. So I'm really happy that I got opportunity to be part of this class. And also have to really appreciate Lynnwood Temple. They took time to arrange all of this and also support with whether Nandu Prabhuji or Yashoda Mai, they took care of all of us by providing prasadam and doing all the support here, which really made us to forget everything and then get into the spiritual path. And this is really helpful. And I am really thankful to Guruji and as well as bringing me back to the following of Guru Parampara and also follow the path of Krishna consciousness is really helpful. I'm really thankful to you and thankful to the whole ISKCON temple and other administrative staff as well. Thank you. So we have Abhishek Gurutanapu. We have Vishnu Gupta. We have Sohan Prabhu. Sohan Prabhu has been one of the most consistent attendance. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Haribol, everyone. Yeah, so similar to I think what we just heard, uh, our our Kuldevta also apparently happens to be what we call as Nevar Krishna, and I'm a Konkani speaker, and you might find it hard to believe that our Kuldevta is in Goa, and our ancestors migrated from Goa during the Portuguese conquest, and we spread all over the coastal areas of Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Kerala. So, despite that, we hold Krishna very dearly, and the connection that I felt, I used to be associated very closely with Smamish, as well as I'm now associated with Lynnwood now. The connection is like much stronger with Krishna, and I was primarily looking to understand my own religion. I wanted to discover myself, more closely, understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavatam, and the self-discovery. I think these sessions provided a very important path for me. Um, some of the learnings that I have primarily understanding that we have been going after the wrong kind of problems. Those problems are probably not even
uh, not well anything compared to what the real problems in life are. Um, and also, I think we as human beings, uh, we uh, our I think being human beings, our journey towards spirituality is more pronounced than anyone else, and this we should essentially embrace it and try to find ways of how to break the cycle of karma. Um, and once again, not to mention Maharaji, Guru Maharaji, uh, he made the entire series of courses and classes very simple and with a lot of humor. Uh, Developed a lot of anecdotal examples. Some of them they stay with you, even though a lot of times the examples stay with you, and that's the essence stays with you. So I hope it was equally useful for others to also be part of this. And this, Hare Krishna, everyone.
So Sohan Prabhu is Prabhu and then so that is awesome because it's gone after the initiated region is Prabhu or Das, right? So we have Roshni. Again, so the Mataji have very consistent. And they have always the smile on their face. And then I know what you're talking about. Let me say what you know.
Hare Krishna. Um, as you know, I'm a wife of Sohan, so I don't have to explain my background. It's very similar. Though I am from a family where my parents, I wouldn't say they're atheists, but they didn't follow much of the religion, and so I wasn't exposed much to temples and even the whole community. Um, but I'm glad that I'm married into a family where my husband is very supportive. Um, and I would say this course for me was like every new year we have a resolution that we're going to take care of our health this year or and, like whatever increase our protein or exercise that whatever diet we need. But yeah, this year it was about spirituality. I think the timing was so great that the course started in the beginning of the year and also happened to be a Sunday evening, which was very convenient for us. Like, it's the start of the week or the end of the week. You can say it was a blessing for us to, like, and a good opportunity to come here. And that's probably one of the reasons why we never missed any of the sessions. And then one small incident I can say that happened this week. Those who are living in our community, I think everyone had a power shortage or power out on Tuesday evening. Yeah, so around 8 p.m. we finished our dinner and everything was like almost done, but I was stressed out that the kid is not sleeping. He was on his like in his room with the phone, and the phone percentage was like literally 10%. And I was like, oh, how are you going to like manage school tomorrow? You need to like focus, sleep, and at least for that. Okay, I'm going to bunk the school and stuff like that. And here I am like, oh, the kitchen is like leftover work. There's like so many things like pending stress. I had oil in my head and I was like, oh, I need to go have a bath and go bed. So many things were like there. And he was telling me, oh, just go out from his room, don't travel the sun, let's go. And I was like, okay, let me think of what I can do. I just went by a window in our house and just sat there and I was like looking outside and it was actually very bright. The moonlight itself was like bright enough that I could sit in one place and fold the clothes, try to calm myself with that. And also that helped me, like, the chanting that you said. So I started just chanting for 10 minutes, I believe, and the power was back. So that actually made me think that, oh, this is a really yeah, it's working definitely. Not miracle maybe, but I think yeah, it helped me like release my stress and consciously think about Krishna. So yeah, thank you for teaching us and yeah, providing us the path, right path. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, sir. We have Ashutosh. Ashutosh Prabhu is already entrenched spiritualist. When there is one person to say about it.
Entering this. Hare Krishna, everyone. Um, so I started this class because of Vipin Prabhu. He told me this is life changing class, and it really feels life changing. I have a lot of uh, learnings from this course, and that I can apply in my life. So I'm very grateful to Vipin Prabhu and Sri Mataji also. And then Gaurav's channel Prabhu, amazing teacher. Uh, the way you made the class so interesting, even we were sitting for 2 hours, 1.5 hours, I would think like you just keep on talking and we listen to you. Um, the anecdotes from real life. There were so many revelations during the class. It hit hard, so it was eye-opening. Um, I also want to thank and be very grateful to my wife, Priyanka, because she was the one who introduced me with ISKCON. I never knew about it. She made us go to the Isakwa temple, and then we got to know about this temple. Then we started coming here. She was very supportive. She said, "You go to the class, I'll take care of the kids. If not for her, I go to their class." Um, so very grateful to her. Uh, some of the reflections from the classes. Um, I've had some fundamental questions about existence of God and who's the authority on it. What do we take as the truth? All of them were beautifully answered. A lot of thought-provoking ideas. I'm still working on all those, but I have at least some understanding that I can tell my kids if they ask what is God, how do we know that God exists, etc. So that is really good. And then I thought my life's problems were just pressure from work, so much stress in day-to-day life of different things. Money is a problem, but got to know from this class that the real problems are common to all, and nobody can avoid it, and everyone has it. So, how do we overcome those problems, and what is real happiness? Those learnings were very significant because now in my life, I'm trying to apply it. Um, so, like when I get stressed from my work, now I think, okay, is it really a problem for me? Like this is the biggest problem? No, I have much bigger problems in life that needs to be solved. So the ABCD formula that beautifully applies here. So association, I'm getting here with wonderful devotees. Um, Chanting, we had a deep dive session on chanting, and I'm trying to increase the chanting as much as possible. Uh, that is really helping me calm myself during stressful situations. Um, and then diet, there was a good point about what you eat, you become that. And scientifically, in 7 years, your whole body replaces, every cell is replaced. And if you have prasadam for that entire time, your body becomes of prasadam. So having prasad here, that helps. And then getting involved in the services, I'm trying to do as much as possible. So that also helps. So very grateful for having this class and being able to be part of it. I think Krishna is very generous for me he has paved the path and I'm able to get into this with everyone's support. So I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Mamta,
Hare Krishna, everybody. Um, Firstly, thank you, Dr. Prabhu, for your selfless favor um, in leading the discovery class. And we truly appreciate your effort and time uh, to dedicate us for teaching the class. So, today I wanted to share a couple of important points. So, from the class, key points I would say. So, which is motivating us, everybody, not personally me, and then also everybody. I think one of the things is, so these points, I'm not telling the answers to these points, but you have to once you open that class and so get the answers from these points. So one is what is the higher purpose of our life? So that is the one thing, and then so knowing the um, difference between the material enjoyment and then real happiness. And then benefits of the chanting meditation, and then how important it is to pull down ourselves by chanting. And this discovery yourself class is really discovering true identity behind the mind and body. So that so it is more than a class. As somebody already told, it is more than a class. It's a knowledge that one should know how to lead our life. And then the benefits of the class, I would say, uh, mainly how to discipline the life, and then uh, eliminate the bad habits. So these are the things, and then eating sattvic food, and then these are the couple of the points we have to make accustoms into our life, which is helpful to everybody. And thank you, Gauranga Prabhu, for yes, it is so much humorous in the classes. I never felt that. So the class is so boring, and then so that's how he made us to engage in the class. And thank you for Vipul Prabhu and then Shivtu Mataji for arranging Discovery Yourself class in the Lynnwood. And then it's a great opportunity for everybody to attend the class and then learn what is the purpose of the life. And then I also thank the Lynnwood team and everybody for all these services, and then keep supporting all the devotees with the prasadam, great prasadam, and then all the efforts they are doing for the devotees. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Mataji. There is the symptoms of a future creature. That is bad. Preeti Chopra Mataji. Kunal Mukherjee. Bring the box. Receive it in public, give it to me. In the back. Actually, you have to complete your test with. So,
No, it's fine, bro. He's getting certificate from you. All the more better, no?
such a great area. Such a Taki koi itta aane. I'm not going to teach this. No, no, stand for that.
Oh.
You can talk about your device experience.
So I started 3 years back. So my device class, first device class was with the praabhu. So it was Saturday, 10 o'clock, I think it started. So I used to go for my cricket practice, and after the cricket, I used to come there. Um, and it was in his home. Um, and that was my first introduction. Before that, I was always spiritual in a sense that I used to go to temple and believe that there is God and higher authority, but never had a very defined path of how to practice and inculcate that process in a very defined and disciplined structure. So going to their home and seeing such a devotion that Maharaj and Yashoda Mataji has, and how they were selflessly serving the Shah and giving class. So it started from there. It made me think that if somebody is doing so much selfless seva, what I'm doing, I'm just going morning, playing cricket, coming back, thinking about my work. There was nothing I'm doing to grow myself within. I was maybe professionally I was growing, within the social circle maybe I was growing, but personally there was no growth. So that started, and then in the device class, those questions were being answered. Like we all have those questions that who we are, why we are here, why something bad is happening with me, even though I'm being good or nice to somebody. And those questions I started getting those answers. Like, there's a bigger scheme of things which is happening behind you, and you have to embrace those things and connect with your real connection. Your soul is meant to connect to the spiritual self of yourself. So so identifying that and believing in that, that is helped me personally. And not only just me, my wife, my kids, they have all got this blessing to continue in this process. And it's such a nice, Ashutosh Prabhu mentioned about ABCD, like association. We have such a wonderful association here. It's just happy helps you go. But sometimes I feel that I'm deviating from the path. I started with the after devotees and it gives me courage that, come back and focus again. So yeah, thank you so much. And also, second device which I mentioned again, Gauranga Chandra. One of the things is that these concepts are uh, very deep, but if 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 it makes in a light and it connects with your daily work, then you're able to connect to it. And I think Gauranga has done that wonderfully because he gave his personal experience. He made it very light to understand and take those concepts in. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for that. Thank you all the devotees and all the volunteers who help us with this this congregation going with beautiful and delicious prasadam going. So thank you so much, and I hope all of you as well as my spiritual journey continues to grow, and you all help each other in this journey. Amrita Shetty. Smiling, nobody's taking photo. Thank you. A very consistent attendance, and you can see in the eyes of the student that they mean business when they hear a spiritual class. They know they are going to implement something, and Mataji is one of those sides.
Hare Krishna, everyone. First of all, I think thank you to Prabhuji for giving us this opportunity for this class. Um, just to give a background, coming to Lynnwood Center was just by chance because we were in Bellevue before, and I would end up with the Bellevue ISKCON. And then we moved to Mathityo, which is Leeds, and it's like really like 22 miles for us to drive to Bellevue. On major occasions, I would drive, and then suddenly somebody in Bellevue asked me, like, how come you're not going to the Lynnwood Center? It is pretty nearby. So one evening, I just came over, and I think Yashoda Mataji was here. Frankly speaking, her one smile made like new center appear like as a very well-known place to you. So that was the ultimate thing which actually made me come to the new center. And uh, for the background as such, I'm already very spiritual. Uh, ISKCON is my second place. Basically, I'm from. I've told this in the class before. I come from the Chidra mission background. I studied like all the way from the ancient that started. So Bhagavad Gita is not new to me. Swamijis are not new to me. I've heard a number of discourses on Bhagavad Gita, but the major connection or the major thing that I noticed the difference between the Chidra mission culture, the ISKCON culture is, and Chinmay Mission, you will have all these lectures are called as Gita Dhyan Yajnas, and they're told by the Swamijis who are in yellow and orange robes, right? And hearing in ISKCON with a person who is like having a family, married, and still able to give these discourses in a very formal way, which where can connect to it in your day-to-day living, was the major change that I noticed, and I think it was very easy for me to connect. And I think already many people told what we learned, right? So many things about the six opulences that we learn, the ABCDE that we can adopt to adapt it in our everyday life. And I think the students were already sent out messages that please dress up nicely and go through all the recordings and prepare yourself. I was like, I think I remember most of it, but again, I didn't want to ignore the message. I'm a pretty sincere student. I've been sincere student all through my life. So I just went back over the recordings and I was like, oh wow, in 8 sessions, we have covered so much more. Like it might look when we talk, it's like very 2 or 3 minutes of talk, but then when you go back of the recordings and see, there were so many different angles that we didn't even know. Like you can even think in this way of spiritual world. So thank you for all that. I think we surely missed this class. And again, this class also happened by chance because I was getting my 6-year-old for the evening yoga classes that was happening. And then there was a message out in the group saying that, oh, we are starting a new classes. So we thought, okay, when kids are attending there, let's give ourselves a chance to attend this. And then I think it was very helpful. We'll be missing this class going forward, but we heard that there's some new series coming up. We'll wait for that and thank you everybody. And thank you for the Lynnwood Temple to give us an opportunity to make ourselves available and wait for ourselves on every Sunday to attend this class. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vikas. The next is Sri Mahankar Ghosh Prabhu and Sangeeta Sarkar Bhattaji. We are taking this improvement role. Now we are meeting the family students. We'll come back to say. I guess we say what the same. Very good. So what the thing is, stand to the stand to the.
Hello, everyone. Um, so I was introduced to Krishna consciousness by Prabhuji, my husband, and initially I was not that much interested. So Prabhuji said one day you will thank me for that. And, so first time when Prabhuji convinced me, I was not that clear. The vision was not clear, the structure was not clear, and Prabhuji said, like I have to give up my diet and I was very hard for about so I have to give up my diet and all the things, and it was very hard for me. And whenever I used to say, Prabhuji, oh, let's watch the movies, Prabhuji said, oh, no, let's see Raman series. And I please come like, oh, I'm not interested in that. So after some time, when I get association and a little bit involvement, then I I'm getting the test like okay, it's not renunciation or giving up thing, it's just like inclusion of Krishna and somebody things and more happiness. So yeah. And then I came to Lynnwood Temple and thanks to Nanda Maharaj who introduced me for the DYS class. And in DYS class, Um, in first dictionary, it comes to know the inner self. The soul is the driver of the body, and the body is the a kind of machine, and this very and who is the driver of this cosmic system. So that inspired me to continue the classes. It's very inspiring. So, and then the manual of life and the stories, the six blind man's stories, and all the stories are so captivating, and the way from teach us is we never feel bored and like so. Thank you for that project. I'm very grateful and we come to know the threefold misery of life and four real problems: birth, death, old age, and disease. And also how to get rid of that the solution and the power of the sound vibration of mantra and the free will and karma, and that's helped a lot because now the we handle like handling problem become little bit easier. Like okay, we know our karma, we are it, so we have to deal with it. So and yeah, so thanks for the nice prasada for Shamkunda Mataji, Yashoda Mataji, and all the Matajis. I don't know their name, and also all the Prabhujis, and whoever designed the DYS class and all that thing, and His Grace Harivilash Maharaj for giving us the opportunity and like Krishna's blessing. Harikula.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So I can tell little bit about from the class what I have done so far. So if we think about what are the problems existing, so like Chandra, I get to Jara, so like part of the day, and then move forward and then people will go to why is that the problems. Now let's go one like is birth and death probably don't realize, but scripture says there are a lot of problems. But if you go to others, like, okay, disease we all know, right? Any disease can suffer, like not only 1%, the entire family will be suffer. And if you go to old age, I see old people and I like to talk to them. If you realize, most of the people ignore them. And that's going to happen for another 20, 30 years to us. So there is no exception on that. And so those are the problems. And now, do we have any solutions? So then, yeah, there are some solutions, some existing solutions are there. Like, okay, to become happy. Like we buy car, we get married, we have a home, do much things, but then again, some only for temple, one day, like let's say 1 month, 1 year, and those things will just go away. And then so then we have some bigger solutions. Yes, we have a bigger solutions. So we can do a spirituality, and there are many ways we can do spirituality. There are many spots. And then the last question is okay, so do we have the best thing? So then we come to the bhakti. So like okay, do keep chanting and the 75% comes and then it related to the Lord, who is the creator, who is the management, who is the like Lord of all the gods. And then by chanting his name, you can connect to the connect to him. So that way you can purify yourself and then you can reach your goal, which is the perfection of life, and then basically you don't need to come again in this world, material world. So yeah, so this is what I have been learned so far from this class. Little bit I knew before, but this class is really good. So little bit of myself. So since childhood, I was never good in any class. So in 50 minutes class, I was always sleeping. Never it happened. So I was like, okay, this is the only class I have. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
managed to stay awake. We managed to stay awake.
This yeah. Yeah, check the recording. I know that. No, no, I was always listening. I think, okay, but it never happened to me since when I used to go to school, high school. So I was the person who was just sleeping on that bench. Yeah, and then teacher comes and then I would every day. Yeah, thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
And he said about spiritual knowledge that Nashta Parayashu Abhadrashu Nitya Bharatya. When you consume spiritual knowledge, everything abhadra in your life goes away. All the fears go away. All the anxiety goes away. So the sleep is very natural after that. If you do sleep, you don't feel it is off. Sham Sundar Bhu. Okay, very consistent moment. Hello, very good evening, everyone. I'm bit nervous now to explain. So, uh, like I come from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, during my school days, college days, I used to go to temple at least once a week. After 2007, I moved out of Madurai. So after 19 years, this is the first time I visited temple at least once a week for continuous weeks, just to learn and discover yourself. Uh, the way Ganesh Prabhuji explained the course, the content was very engaging. I learned a lot. And the way he explained was phenomenal. The time flies just like that. So I learned a lot from I finally found a spiritual mentor in form of Ganesh Prabhuji. And thanks, Vipul Maharaj as well for arranging this course. My top three learned from this session. The first one was the top three takeaway was body, mind, and soul. Before this course, I had good knowledge of limited knowledge on body and mind. Uh, Through this course, I learned the importance of soul as well, because that's what common between us and the God. So I learned that we need to give importance to soul as well. Uh, Now, a little bit of shifting strategy, I give more importance to soul, which is more permanently, and others are temporary in nature, like the body and mind. So after this session, I started giving more importance to that. The second learning was purpose of life. So what I thought my purpose of life was uh, during my school days and college days, study well, earn money, then take care of your family members, extend the family. So I thought that was the purpose of my life. But after attending this course, I learned that uh, soul is not permanent in nature. So there should be some purpose for that. So the association of God or thinking about God. So that was the real purpose of this life. That's what I learned from this course. And the next step is uh, I understood about soul and the purpose of life and God. So how I'm going to engage or associate with the God. So my relationship with God was more of material business. I go to temple with the divine needs of the universe. I will be conducted. So it was more up and down. Right? Whatever I wish if I get, the belief will increase. And if I don't get, the belief will come down. Okay, I'm not going to go for something until so it was the relationship was more transactional based. It's always based on some expectations. What I learned from this course is how to engage in a ritual. They say soul is uh, Sachidananda, eternal, knowledgeable and blissful. But my association with the God is always up and down because there is more of a transaction. So I also don't have much knowledge on this Vedas, literatures. I don't understand Sanskrit. So I thought I don't have the prerequisite knowledge to understand God. So it is always out of focus for me. So through this course, I learned that um, it's easy to engage. And then I learned the English language, like ABC, Same way, the association, also the class started basically here for association, meeting similar minded people who has knowledge about Quran and interact with them. And B for books, uh, that's Ganesh Prabhu for gifting me a Srimad Bhagavatam. I started reading the books, so I will spend some time on reading the books. Same for chanting. It's trying to chant from the beginning, so always is staying in my mind. So I would like to change that as well. B for diet. So whatever we consume or eat guys directly affects our movement, the way of thinking. So I learned those things as well and the seva. So also learn that I need to seva to the government. So those are the important learnings. So someone want to attend this course, this will be like very helpful. I would suggest I would recommend people to attend this courses. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we have Rika, we have Hare Krishna. What is the next questions that were addressed? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I feel so grateful to be here to share my reflection about the session. I am feeling so happy that I'm getting graduated one more time in my life. And so when I first saw the flyer to find the details about the session, as Prabhuji told, there were some thought-provoking questions like who is God, what is the true happiness, and what is the purpose of life. So I was trying to answer these questions to myself, but somehow I was not convinced. And that's when I decided to join the session so that I can have a better understanding. And before attending the session, I was seeing my life as doing day-to-day activities, teens responsibilities, seeking happiness and materialistic things, chasing success by comparing with other people's success. But I know I was wrong somewhere. I was not aware of how to change the perspective. That's where this session helped me a lot. After attending the session, I realized that I was not just the body, but the soul. Soul is eternal and it does not change over time and it is conscious. So this basic understanding itself gave me a calmness and peaceful environment. And the second session was about the existence of God. A few days back, my son was asked me the basic questions. Why do we not see God? How do we feel God? Even though I believe in God and God's existence, I was not able to answer the questions so that in a way he understands. This session gave me all the answers. Like so when he comes and asks me the same questions tomorrow or some other day, I can answer him confidently. So that's the favorite part of my whole session because I can extend my knowledge to the next generation. So I feel happy about that. And then we discussed about the real problems. What are the real problems and the permanent solutions and love, karma, ABCD formula. So with all these knowledge provision, I now take my responsibility that I'll implement things in my life and lead a better spiritual life. Thank you, Prabhuji, for answering all the questions in each and every session. And thanks, Prabhuji, for organizing this session. And I look forward to attend many more sessions like this. Thank you. Thanks for every Mataji and Mataji and volunteers preferred Prashadam for us because without them it would not be even be possible for do the session in person. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So yeah, becomes really yeah. Knowledge becomes realization. You need to implement it. Mataji has promised to implement it. Isn't it amazing? So we have around 20. Hare Krishna, very consistent attendance. I was smiling saying that I'm going to check on what you are saying.
Hare Krishna, I'm Rahul. Thank you for the opportunity.
First of all, thanks to that seeds of land reserve technology for everyone to make this happen. This course discovery also is really a discovery of lies and that's all. Each session we were discovering of things. We were out of real life things and real life scenarios. Already some very discussed whole session. So what I can contribute to this, but I'm still in the first grade of this spirituality, but I entered there and last couple of years, I don't know what I was missing, but I was still searching for something. But now one door is opened up. Now I can go from my first grade to the second grade and half of it. That's what I realized. Uh, just as we always know, Asatoma Satkamaya, Tanasoma Jotakamaya, Antyama, Vadakamaya, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. That's kind of things that I can share with you. I have a lot. Thanks for listening. Very well. So, student, did I miss any students? Okay, thank you. Couple of students we have certificates for that we will go offline. I'd like to invite first Gaurav followed by the management to give us some words of their realizations. The whole idea is that this batch was not possible without Gaurav supporting me. If you remember, when he was not there, I couldn't even record a session. Yeah. Right? I realized that now 50 years. That's why I was missing. And after that, people Prabhu will come again because if he didn't go through this tapasya of many years of setting up the center, there was no way we could meet. We would be meeting them like Mayuri and Apna. You don't know who I wouldn't know who you are. So this is the orchestrator. So thank you so much. So,
Hare Krishna, everyone. Uh, I'd like to thank His Grace Gauranga Chandra, the future of my Mataji, our His Holiness Harivilas Maharaj for giving this platform and all of you for actually giving a opportunity to serve all of you. It was a very menial service of recording this session, but I'm happy that I'm able to assist the spiritual path of everyone with this my service. Um, I would like to also share about my story of how I came, how my started with me. Um, I started my sessions with Gauranga probably 3 years back. Um, the knowledge, as we have seen, we can get it in three ways. The third way, which is basically Shabda Brahman, is what you need to actually get the bona fide knowledge. And that bona fide knowledge was actually present in our scriptures, but then those scriptures are always very hard to digest. And his divine grace Srila Prabhupada actually took all the efforts to put that knowledge into very simplified English. His purpose are very easy to use, and that knowledge become very easily accessible to us. One step next to that, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj and then many brahmacharis from Pune and Mumbai, they actually took the effort to put this course and all the material into very nice 6 or 7 sessions of DYS that we can consume very easily. And all of these sessions together actually they help understand very basic questions that we have in life. And most of we have covered all of them, but I'll just repeat it again. Who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Why good thing happens to bad people? Bad things happen to good people. We have questions on both ends. And with all of those questions in mind, we always think we never try to even ask those questions whenever we are reading our life. It's like whenever, like Prabhuji gives a good, very nice example, like whenever there is a dog and dog throw a stone at it, he doesn't even care like why someone threw a stone at me. If we are kind of living that kind of a life, then we are as good as. But then when we start questioning, like, why did it happen to me? That's where the real life starts, and that's what we call Tata Brahma Jigyasa, like, okay, I have taken this life, what is the purpose behind that life? And DYS kind of helped me put an answer to my question, like, okay, what's the purpose of life? What am I supposed to do? And with the DYS and very nice lectures that I had with Prabhuji, I kind of have a clear path of what I'm supposed to do, how scriptures, how I can use the scriptures to basically help my spiritual journey. And all in all, this has been a very amazing experience for me. Uh, Another thing that Prabhuji mentions is whatever we have seen so far was just like a honey jar that we were trying to lick from the outside, but that was not possible. With DYS, we just opened that jar and we just got to test out, how much nectar there is in the spiritual journey. And I hope that the nectar of this honey and the spiritual path will be distributed even for the Linda Maharaj in the coming sessions. And I hope that all of you can come and let's try to embark on this journey together. Hare Krishna.
I Prabhu is the organizer of many things. The Marathi preaching that is happening in the area is the pillar of that. We create DYS sessions that fills the Bhagavad Gita sessions. We have Vitana programs. There is a lot happening and Prabhu is very active and he does that in India. So nowadays I'm more like I'm totally dependent on Prabhu. Any project I'm taking up first, I'm checking whether he's available. So in that we'll invite Nanda Maharaj. Is it possible to invite Mataji also? Right. Okay.
Hare Krishna, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Gauranga Prabhu for coming all the way some of it's every week. I think 45 minutes one side and then going back. He has many other services to do, but still he chalked out time for all of us and gave his association, shared his learnings and experiences, and he had uh, like served many batches. This was his, I think, 35th or I don't know, 36th batch. So with a vast amount of experience that he had, talking to people, uh, he has to be even like, different kind of people ask different questions and he answers them very well. Uh, so thank you so much, Bobby, for your association. And I think one thing that when I was hearing from everybody, thing that I really like is that generally we have this notion of spirituality as being, something very serious thing and, I don't know, like it's probably or not. And one thing, the common thing that I heard from everyone is that how interactive, how humorous, and how joyful the experience has been for all of you. And it's just the beginning, like, uh, and uh, secondly, I would like to thank His Holiness Haridas Maharaj who had created this environment where we can all come together. It wouldn't have been possible without all his efforts and not just him, like it's all throughout the group of like if Srila Prabhupada wouldn't have done, he wouldn't have been Haridas Maharaj wouldn't have been able to create this environment. And if he was not there, we would not have some of his temple, we would not have his to temple. It is his vision. And now if all his guidance was not there, probably would not have come here, So it's all coming through the parampara, as you might have heard in his classes how the knowledge through flows through the parampara. It's top down. So that is what we are just reaping the benefits of what our work has been already done. So also uh, I really love this course as well. I did this course like first time I did this course was 22 years back. Uh, when I was in India, and it was like fascinating. Every class was like, wow, like that, And uh, now, right now, we have divided this class into one class a week. For me, it was like every day, 7 continuous days, and the life changed. And uh, carrying that experience the first time when those 7 days changed my life so much. And whenever I come across anybody who is looking for uh, to start his spiritual journey, I highly recommend this course. And this weekly setup also, like times when we are, engaged in so much of work and all. It gives us a lot of time to absorb each and every class nicely. And I'm sure you might have seen how it can change your whole lifestyle. And it is just the beginning. Even after 22 years of, I have done this course, and I've done this course several times. Every time I find it so joyful, uh, even after coming to here in the Seattle area, I've done this course like a couple of times as a student, not as an teacher. So after 22 years, I still feel that I'm just a student and it's just the beginning, and there is a lot to learn. As I think Rahul Prabhu very well said, it is just the first grade that he has entered, and he's gonna he's looking forward to enter into the second grade and so on. So uh, in these 22 years, I'm just able to I'm just seeing the you know contents, the index, the content table of index, not even in what that content could, but it's so vast. I mean, we spent years and years to graduate, and then what all we do. So K to 12, and then enter into the college, and then we start understanding. At every stage we see, okay, now, oh, I know the numbers. I started counting. We think that we know a lot, and then we go to the next grade. We see, oh, there is addition we can do. It's very wonderful. We can add numbers. It is so wonderful. And then we think like, oh, we know a lot. We know numbers. We know addition. And then we go to the next grade. We know subtraction. Oh, we can subtract the numbers also. Now, at every step, it is a new learning, and it's wow factor. Then you understand multiplication, division, and you go through so many the whole number system, and you start thinking that now I am everything. And then comes imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers that cannot be represented on a number line, something like that. So every moment there is a new learning and a new wow factor. Same is with the spiritual journey, and it's just a 7 weeks we have been learning to it. You can spend 7 lifetimes, and still you will be. You can at every moment you can wow yourself. It is so vast, so deep. So uh, I have requested Prony to keep coming, and it's just the beginning. We can continue this journey together, and we'll try to uh, start keep the momentum going on with the diving deeper slowly into the topics of Bhagavad Gita, and then Prabhuji will keep coming and keep guiding us on this journey, and I look forward to that. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Let's go on behind. Mataji, please. Trust me, if we just remove the prasadam from the whole discussion, there is no part here.
Hare Krishna, dear everyone. So I don't really have much to say. Whatever I have to say is already been spoken by Prabhuji, and all the knowledge that he gives and takes all the effort to come all the way from Samanish, give us these wonderful classes. As Prabhu was saying, I have myself attended Discover Yourself class for I think more than 10 times. And what to speak about the other courses, this course itself, even after doing about 10 or 12 times, I'm still amazed. I still get that wow factor from this particular course, repeating over and over again. One point that I would like to say here is that, like Prabhu was saying, we are reaping the benefits, or we are reaping the fruits of what the hard work our acharyas and seniors have done. And if I may add this, if out of this class, and I know this, everyone is probably going to take something home. I do feel that if any one of you are feeling happy inside and you are taking something home, it also becomes our duty to ensure that someone else also can and feel that happiness. So I do feel that all of us who all of us have experienced that happiness, spread the happiness. So that's all I would like to say, I think, and I would really, really, from the bottom of depth of my heart, I would like to thank Prabhuji for taking so much effort. It is not easy. It is a commitment. Coming every week from so far away, and he has a lot of other services with different temples. He still, takes time for us and comes over here, gives us valuable time. I think none of it. If anyone here deserves a big round of applause, it's him. So let's do that. So, let's go with the also. He has been, I mean, Prabhuji was telling us how he has been supporting all the courses and all. So of course, everything has a support system. And Gaurav Prabhu, thank you so much too.
One thing no, I forgot to mention this. I was discussing with Lee about how the classes are going, and one of the comment that I received was this is one of his best batch. So thanks to all of you also for being
Hare Krishna. So what, 20 years back, I was also like keeping out of curiosity, right? I moved here and I had these Microsoft employees getting together once a week. I'm like, you guys have beautiful houses, beautiful wives, beautiful children, beautiful cars. What, what are you doing getting together for Bhagavad Gita once a week? That is a big curiosity for me. So I jumped in. And then I found, wow, right? So that was my starting point. And with Haridas Maharaj 20 years back, I used to sit every day, not weekends, every day, 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock, and study Bhagavad Gita with him. And in the area, in the country, there is no better teacher, even around the world, like Haridas Maharaj. 1 year we studied every night. You know what we studied completed syllabus wise? Introduction of Bhagavad Gita. Every line of Bhagavad Gita, he would take us to the right of all other books, show us the references and bring us. Second statement, again full round somewhere else and come back. The concepts were really clarified. So if I spoke something good, it is because I learned from him. If I said something bad, my friends outside. Right? So again, it is all coming from parampara. Parampara means complete transfer of knowledge. So if we do that, so I learned somewhere, Roji learned somewhere, Gaurav learned somewhere, you're also learned somewhere. The whole idea is that whatever we receive, there is not a way to pay me back. You realize what will you do? Because that's what you did, right? I can't give anything to my teachers and so because what did I give? They already have what they need. This is the moment of paying it forward. That means we make others fortunate by enrolling them to the program. So please do that. With that, again, thanking the whole global team, thanking the Washington team, thanking the national team. And it is not complete without saying that the syllabus is coming from Pune, Radhesham Prabhu, Karnataka Prabhu. So these are all great monks actually. They are creating the syllabus. With that, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I promised to talk about Ram, but I'm not sure how much time we have. We can do the session future.
Uh, whatever we can, I mean,
So I need to quick because I promised and I did two quick promises. So one of the most interesting parts of Ramayana is Ram is seen as a Maryada Purushottam human being, and then suddenly sometimes he displays his power as a lord, and then again he's back to his. So like when the ocean is not giving the way for Lord Ram, Vibhishana comes and says that pray to Samudra. So 3 days, Lord Ram is what he's doing fasting. 3 days. After 3 days, Lord Ram says enough is enough. Vibhishana is my devotee, I don't want to ignore him. So basically, talk about Lord Ram, that's why.
Yeah.
So then he pulls out his bow and arrow and he's just about to shoot the arrow towards ocean. And then the ocean god rises and says that, oh my God, I'm big in size, that is why I'm slow by nature. And when the Ram put the bow and arrow, all the water in the ocean started boiling, all the timinga fish or the sharks are they are jumping out of the water. So the Samudra said, I'm sorry. And it says, you have a Vishwadharma's son, monkey in your team. So they will be a nice bridge, and that is going to come to the time. So project will be done. Lord, I'm sure that it's okay to listen to devotees. But when I think you want to say, who the Devata worship, it's Samudra is a Devata, right? In the Devata worship, Lord Ram showed by his example who's boss. Right? It's not Devata, Lord Ram. And the second confusing question that we get is, was it fair for Sita? and Sita went through so much of hardship. And that's a big question. The part that we need to understand is there was a beautiful princess, Vedavati, who was doing tapasya in uh, the Himalayas when Ravana, totally full of energy after getting the boon, he went and disturbed her. When he went to the Vedavati, Vedavati is doing tapasya. Uh, what was the tapasya? Sankalpa was to get Lord Vishnu as her husband. And that is where Ravana goes to her and says that, oh, beautiful lady, why don't you marry me? I am handsome and this and that. And when he's going to about to touch her, she doing tapasya. Have you seen Terminator movie? Nobody has seen Terminator. Yeah, have you seen? Okay. That robot hand becomes a sword. Have you seen that? So with this hand, yogically becomes a sword, and she cuts off her hair that was dead by Ravana. Right? So now the hair are separate and she's separate. I said that to Ravana, I was doing tapasya that to offer my life to Lord Vishnu as his wife. But now that you have touched my hair, now this whole body is not offerable to Lord Vishnu. So there is no purpose of my living also. So I will create Agni and I will burn myself. But when I'm born again, I will take care of. I'll be back. You know, this I'll be back business came from Ravana. Right? So Vedavati, now what happens? Mother Sita, she was given this Lakshman Rekha not to cross. But when she decided to cross, what really happened was Bhumi, which is her mother, she took Mother Sita in, who came out was Vedavati, Maya Sita. And she went with Ravana. And she was in the Lanka for all those years. And when it was time to come back, again, Mother Sita said, oh, Lakshmana, start a fire. I will put my chastity. And that is where, again, in the fire, what happened? Mother Sita came out and Vedavati went in. So think of it like a play where you did a curtain. So fire plays that curtain. Ravana could not have given Sita or the Sita. Eternal expert of the eternal Lord. That is something that I want to highlight. That when we see Ramayana, if we see Ramayana as just another man who suffered a lot, right? It's the Papa from South India. So he keeps talking about as if Lord of the Lord person. But so Mother Parvati, she was seeing when Lord Ram was going in the jungle and she was Ram was asking trees and animals to where is Sita, where is Sita, where is Sita. And that is where Parvati really fits in. And she went in the form of Mother Sita and asked um, Ram. Ram looked at her and said, that no, she's looking like a Sita. He's looking for Sita. You get bewildered and said, oh, my Sita, you are here. No, Lord Ram says, oh, Mother Parvati, where is your husband? Because basically, a wife is supposed to go on with her husband, not supposed to go on with her husband. Right? And that is when she got bewildered about it. Ram, that I'm the Maya thing. I'm Maya personified. I can put anybody in vision. And now Ram is recognized me. And so what to do? So she just starts running all along the sea. Looks back only to see that Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Bharat, Shatrugna, they all are seen by together. So Mother Sita was really never separated from Lord Ram. Some people understand. Sita comes home, Lord Shiva, he from Antar then realize what happens. And he says, even for a moment, oh my dear wife, if you took the form of my mother Sita, now I can accept you like a wife. He just thinks in this Bible. Is this all money? Right? Now I can accept you because you have taken my mother's form. After that, the Daksha pasture happens where the Sita, Parvati goes to her father's home and then just burns herself into a yajna. Daksha said, the fourth canto is the Bhagavatam. You can read that. Takes life again, does the tapasya again, and then comes back again as the Lord Shiva's wife. So there are very intricate philosophy and the katha and the leelas happening in our Puranas that we are supposed to enjoy and talk again and again and again. But what do people do in the higher spiritual lokas? They are also talk about God's kathas all the time. Maybe more detail, more elaboration. So fortunately, these are revealed scriptures available to us. We are supposed to make the best of it. And as I said, Lord Ram, when Vibhishan came to ask for surrender, he was kicked out of Rama's place. And he and three of his associates, they came flying down. And they were hovering above, said one person down to say that Vibhishan, I would like to take shelter of Lord Ram. And all the associates of Lord Ram said, already Rakshasas, there is a brother of Rakshasas. There's a danger in shelter of Vibhishan, right? Asylum seeker, as we call it. So, but Lord Ram put it differently. He said, I did not ask you whether Vibhishan should get shelter. Can I give shelter to Vibhishan of the question? Means, if somebody is asking me for shelter, I never refuse the shelter. To the point, even if somebody joking is, oh Lord, I'm yours. The person is joking, I think it's grace. So can we all raise our hands and say, oh Lord, I'm yours?
Oh Lord, I am yours.
Lord Ram takes it seriously. So that is the glory of Lord Ram, and yes, we're supposed to take Ram by Ram and Bhagavad Gita, take it out. With that, I would like to again hand off this badge to the Prabhu and the Maharaj Prabhu and Mataji for the assembly. I will be executed here by his order again. This time also it was by his order. I sent for a event. And the person was the post. I said, the best way to get this one person is to take some service over here. And they have kept their promise. I have kept my promise. With that, if you come to Samamish, or then I would like to, if you find the calculations, just come and pass it along. With that, I would like to end this session. This badge, and this is just the beginning. Again, I heard all the information about me today. Honestly, I didn't think that they're repeating what I have heard. And Gauranga was the one making me here and teaching back. So, Margaret is cooking, and Radisha is creating the syllabus, and Haridas Maharaj is creating the temples. So, really speaking, I'm just like more like a waiter who is the Uttam around in the place. And you're like giving all the thing to the waiter. So it's gone. When somebody says amazing good job, Tali, we have standard line for that. The line is Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this also
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada. And whenever somebody appreciates you for a service, it's like a hot potato. If I keep it, not good. I want to pass it back to the Prabhupada. So we say Srila Prabhupada belongs to Srila Prabhupada. What is Srila Prabhupada mean? He's called his Guru Maharaj of Prabhupada. He said, yes, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And the credit goes back to Lord Sri Krishna. He's just about He's making it happen. He's playing in your heart. He's playing in your mind. He's playing around you. Where his energy is playing. So ultimately, it is Lord Krishna. Where here to facilitate, it's really to be you and Krishna. So please take it seriously because he's more serious than we are. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.